Hello there. Have you ever wondered how the way you talk to yourself can shape your life? Or perhaps you've faced challenges with negative thoughts and are eager to turn things around. Well, you are in the right place. In this video, we'll explore the power of positive self-talk, how it can transform your life, and practical techniques to implement it. But before we dive in, let me ask you, what kind of self-talk do you find most challenging in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Positive self-talk is a potent tool, and in this video, we'll explore how harnessing its power can lead to a more fulfilling life. Before we delve into practical techniques, let's ponder the challenges many of us face when it comes to our inner dialogue. So, what's your internal dialogue like? Do you find it leaning towards negativity, or are you one of those naturally inclined towards positivity? The way you talk to yourself can significantly impact your overall well-being. Now, let's take a closer look at the concept of self-talk and how to spot negative thinking. Understanding self-talk. Self-talk, in simple terms, is the ongoing conversation you have with yourself. It's the constant stream of thoughts that shape your perception of the world and yourself. If you tend to be optimistic, your self-talk is likely to mirror that positivity. Conversely, if you lean towards negativity, your inner voice might be more critical. Regardless of its nature, this internal dialogue reflects your beliefs, thoughts, questions, and ideas. Identifying negative thinking. Negative thinking, often referred to as rumination, can be a dark cloud over your self-talk. It occurs when you replay negative thoughts repeatedly in your mind. While it's beneficial to contemplate problems, excessive rumination can take a toll on your mental health and lead to conditions like anxiety or depression. Positive versus negative self-talk. Let's compare two examples to illustrate the difference between negative and positive self-talk. Negative thinking might sound like this: I really messed up at work today. Man, did I mess this up? I'll probably get fired. I can't do anything right. Why did that happen? No wonder I can't get a promotion. Positive self-talk, on the other hand, could take the form of, I messed up at work today, but I learned something from it. I understand where I went wrong, and next time I'll do a much better job. I've got this. I'm sure I can still get that promotion. The side effects of negative thinking. Constant negative thinking can have detrimental effects on your life, including chronic stress, poor mental health, a diminished quality of life, pessimism, difficulties in communication, and low self-esteem. Identifying negative thinking categories. Recognizing the types of negative thinking you engage in is the first step towards improving your self-talk. Negative thinking generally falls into four categories. 1. Magnifying. This involves fixating on the worst aspects of a situation while ignoring any positives. 2. Polarizing. You tend to view things as either entirely good or entirely bad, with no middle ground. 3. Catastrophizing. You habitually expect the worst outcomes. 4. Personalizing. You tend to blame yourself when things go wrong. Understanding these categories empowers you to use positive self-talk to correct these patterns over time. How to overcoming negative self-talk. Now, let's delve into 5 techniques that can help you overcome negative thinking, along with examples of both positive and negative self-talk for each technique. 1. Monitor your thought patterns. Use the 4 negative thinking categories to track your daily thoughts. When you spot a thought that's magnifying, polarizing, catastrophizing, or personalizing, call it out. First, mention the offending category. Then, start the next thought with, I choose to believe, and follow it up with a positive thought. For example, instead of, this day is just going to get worse, try, I don't want to catastrophize. I choose to believe my day will be great. Instead of, that lecture was long and a waste of time, try, I don't want to magnify. I choose to believe I learned something new. 2. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Isn't it strange how people can be nicer to their friends than they are to themselves? In some cases, if we spoke to our friends the way we speak to ourselves, we wouldn't have any friends. Change the script by focusing on self-love and self-acceptance instead of self-judgment. For example, instead of, I bet the neighbors noticed I gained weight, try, I love my body no matter what size it is. Instead of, there's no way they'd hire me, try, I'd be a great candidate for that position. 3. Keep an eye on your stress levels. Thoughts and stress go hand in hand. It's difficult to think positively when you're under high stress. And it's also difficult to manage your stress when you have too many negative thoughts. That's why it's essential to prevent high stress before it starts in your mind. When you catch yourself thinking about something stressful, immediately shift the focus to how resilient you are. For example, instead of, this project is too hard, try, I can do anything I set my mind to. Instead of, the clock is ticking, and I'll never finish this on time, try, I've been on deadline before, this is no big deal. 4. Look on the bright side. Most experiences have a negative and a positive side if we look closely. You may not enjoy doing laundry, but you love having clean clothes to wear afterward. You may hate getting on planes, but you love exploring a new place once you land. When you start focusing on the negative side of things, flip your thinking to the positive side. For example, instead of, that movie was bad, try, that was a unique storyline. Instead of, that sounds boring, try, I'm looking forward to doing something different. 5. Challenge your thoughts. Challenging your thoughts is the best way to see if they are true and logical. A great question to ask when you're experiencing this is there evidence to back up what I'm thinking? If there's no logic to support those thoughts, change your point of view. For example, instead of, they don't want me to go to the party, try, they knew I planned on going out of town that weekend. Instead of, I'm stuck, and I don't know what to do, try, with a little creativity, I'll find a solution. How to have positive self-talk daily. 7 positive self-talk examples. Here are 7 ways to embed positive self-talk into your daily life. 1. Start in the morning. Set yourself up for success by practicing positive self-talk in the morning. For instance, start the day with some positive affirmations and mindfulness meditation. A positive affirmation is a positive and uplifting statement. Some examples are I'm enough, and I love myself, and I believe in myself, I'm strong. 2. Weave it into your routine. Make positive self-talk part of your everyday routine. For example, listen to an uplifting podcast when you're in the car or when you're doing routine tasks like washing dishes. When you're at work, remind yourself that you're doing a great job. You can also write down an uplifting quote on a post-it note and stick it on your laptop for inspiration. When you're grabbing a coffee, practice your affirmations. Read an inspirational book on your lunch break. In the evenings, write down 3 things you love about yourself in your journal. Whether you're at work, in the car, or at home, make sure to regulate your thoughts throughout your day. 3. Work with your inner critic. Your inner critic is the voice inside you that criticizes anything about you. When your inner critic chimes in, you have a few options: ignore it, interview it, or shift your attention. The method you choose will depend on the situation. If your inner critic is stopping by for a quick rant, ignore it, affirm yourself, and go about your day. If your inner critic keeps pestering you, try interviewing it to see if it has something useful to offer. If all else fails, shift your attention away from yourself. Focusing your attention on others silences your self-criticism. It also increases your compassion for yourself and others. 4. Refer to yourself in the third person. The language you use when you speak to yourself changes the way you feel, especially when you're faced with a challenge. During a challenging time, try referring to yourself in the third person. Use your preferred personal pronouns such as he and she, they, or your name whenever it makes sense. Using the third person in self-talk can help you think more objectively. This helps you craft better responses and emotions. It can also help reduce stress and anxiety. For example, let's say you're on the side of the road and your car won't turn on. Instead of saying, "I can't believe this is happening," try, "It's going to be okay, Mandy, we're going to figure this out soon." 5. Set daily reminders. An easy way to remember to improve your self-talk is by using automatic reminders. Set your phone or your calendar up to remind you to keep working on your self-talk. You can set simple reminders like, "Don't forget to track your thoughts today," and "Be your own best friend." You can also set more detailed reminders like, "Keep an eye on polarizing thoughts today," or "Remind yourself to breathe when you're feeling overwhelmed." 6. Check in with yourself. Check in with your feelings on a regular basis, especially on bad days. For example, if you're noticing one negative event after the other, stop and check your self-talk. Is it helpful or negative? Kind or rude to myself? Then use the tools you learned in the previous section to flip the script. 7. Stay present. Staying in the present moment helps you focus on what's in front of you instead of worrying about the past or future. To remind yourself to stay present, savor the beauty in life that you see around you. For example, when you wake up, enjoy the smell of your first cup of coffee. When you're in the car, sing the song that's playing on the radio. When you're at work, stay engaged with your tasks and customers. When you're outside, notice how beautiful the sky is. When you're with loved ones, practice active listening when they're speaking. Being aware of how you talk to yourself is essential for your well-being. So, are you ready to start practicing positive self-talk? By choosing to flip the script, you'll be on your way to correcting your negative thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care and bye.